What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video, guys. I know it's been like fucking ages since I've uploaded one, and trust me, I've tried recording this exact video like at least 10 times in the past like year, but it's finally here. I first want to start off by saying, holy shit, I did not expect that reception on the last 3Cat tutorial video, and I can't thank you guys enough. I still get people DMing me or like mentioning me in servers, thanking me for that tutorial, so I'm just glad to know that I've actually helped some of you guys understand CatSpam a little better. And this video aims to, I guess, revise that video, since a lot of the information in it is now, thanks to developers having fucking autism, it's just obsolete now, right? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to try to give you guys updated information on what the best guns are, the best loadouts are that you can use for CatSpam, and I'm just going to give you a couple more tips to use them effectively, and I'll throw in some, I guess, gameplay mechanics that I didn't talk about in the last video, right? So I don't want to waste too much of your time. Let's get straight into it. Now, number one, I just want to cover some of the new weapons that have been introduced into the 3Cat meta. I'll start with the backup category, because I'd say this is the one category that's had the most changes. Probably close with heavy, right? So number one, the most recent addition is Waning Moon. This is a 83 fire rate, 12 cap 2 delay weapon that has does it have ricochet? I don't think it has ricochet. No, it doesn't have ricochet, but this does do 122. So this is a very, very good backup. I'd say it's probably like second or third best right now. So yeah, you can use this. I don't personally use it because I prefer another weapon that we'll be talking about shortly, but yeah, this is the newest edition. This was not in the last video, but this is definitely one of those better backups that I'm going to show you how you can use later on in this video. But the Sharp Puck and Exterminator also fall under the same category. Now, the Sharp Puck and Exterminator are unique in the backup category because they have a property that no other backup weapon has, right? And that is the ability to one-shot 260 armor. Now, just to recap from last video, if you haven't watched it or if you've forgotten, there are two main health points with armor in the game that people reuse, right? Widely used. And these are 260, which is 260 total health points, and 280, which is what the grand majority of the player base uses at level 65. So we generally like to base the meta and best guns tier lists off of guns interactions with 280 armor. But I need to talk about 260 armor as well, because there is a percentage of the player base that does use 260, and these two guns, Sharp Puck and Exterminator, one-shot 260, which is insane, by the way. A backup is not supposed to be able to do that, but the devs have gotten a little off the chain recently with like the balance changes they've been making. But honestly, I'm all for it. It makes it a little bit easier to get high kill games. It kind of, I guess, increases the skill ceiling in a way. So it's not really too big of an issue. The Bloody Mercenary has been nerfed, however, it's still a pretty good backup weapon. If you don't have Hypno Pursuer, you can very much use this. It's not going to be quite as consistent, especially if you have X mods, but it's still a usable weapon. Like, the nerf, by no means did the nerf tank this weapon. Like, certain other weapons have been tanked in the past. I'm not talking about any weapons in specific, but yeah, you can still use the Bloody Mercenary. Hypno Pursuer is a way better weapon, though. This gun, not only can it one-shot headshot 280 armor, this gun, the most important thing that, in my opinion, makes it the best backup at the moment, is that it can one-shot bots, which is fucking crazy, okay? I'll get into later why that's so crazy, but this is the backup category for now, okay? We're going to move on to the special category, because there's also been a few changes here as well. Most notably, the Cyber Lantern. This is, I think, the most impactful meta weapon that's been introduced in 2024. I guess not introduced, but buffed, because this weapon was buffed to the point where it one-shots 280 armor now. And just to put into perspective how batshit insane that is, every other relevant CatSpam weapon in the special category, I'll list all of them, right? Notic doesn't one-shot 260. We have Cyber Lantern. I don't know where that is. Yeah, Cyber Lantern doesn't one-shot 260. We have Laser Bouncer, barely one-shots 260. And then we have the Cyber Lantern, which one-shots 280 by like a mile. It does like 11 extra damage to one-shot 280. It's fucking crazy, okay? Get this gun. I seriously, they like to bring it out in the super chest. This gun is better than Ultimatum, okay? Whatever other gun you can name, this gun's probably better than them. It's currently like the second or third best weapon in the game, period. So if you can get this, get it. It is like a must-have at the moment, okay? This is the reason why I wanted to make an updated guide. This blows everything else out of the water with the playstyle you can play that I'm going to show you later, okay? But for now, all you need to know is Cyber Lantern and Laser Bouncer are the big two currently, and they've kind of overshadowed the Necklace of the Ice King, Corrupted Necklace of the Ice King, and the Cyber Cat Lantern. You can still use those three, but the Cyber Lantern and Laser Bouncer are so ahead of the pack that it's a power creep situation, right? The Sniper category, nothing much has changed. I'd still universally recommend Inevitability for any PC player, because it's just hella consistent. Anyone that tries to argue Quickscope is as consistent is just out of their mind, okay? Unless you're using a macro, you're not going to get the same experience with Quickscope. Is it still usable? Sure. If you want to use a cool sniper like Dragon X, or if you want to use the auxiliary rifle, go ahead. But you're going to get trampled by people using Inevitability. Why? Because Inevitability is actually consistent. You don't have to do a stupid little thingamajig to kill people. You know, because you can actually hit your shots. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, the sniper category never really changes, right? The T and Dang was introduced, which this is like fucking crazy. But I mean, really all snipers at the end of the day kind of do the same thing. They're not as important as the special category, backup category, and the heavy category, which we will talk about in a second. But yeah, still my number one recommendations are probably Winner's Laser Beam, which I now have, T and Dang, Laser Bow, Soul Angler, the prototype. I don't know where the prototype is. Overseer, and my number one pick, as always, will be Inevitability. Okay, you just can't go wrong with this gun as long as you have X mods full wear. This is gonna be your go-to sniper. All right, now for the heavy category, which I'd put up there with the backup category, has had the most impactful meta changes over 2024. Because this category wasn't even talked about before, right? It was just a no-brainer, like, yeah, just go with Pixel Call or something. But now, it has vastly changed. Number one, the first weapon that kind of started this little heavy category power creep trend is the Proton Freezer, because this gun got buffed to where it does, I think, 156 damage or something a lot. You guys can correct me in the comment section. But essentially, all you need to know is this gun one-shots 280 armor. Why is that important? Well, it's also because this has one of the easiest to hit projectiles in the fucking game. It's basically like the Hugin, which if you're playing a close quarters map like Pool, it basically means you have a fourth category that you can one-shot with, right? That's awesome. And you know, this was kind of like the start of where the developers really started to push it up to 11, which we'll talk about in a second with the next weapon that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, this gun is really good. It's been kind of outshadowed by a couple other weapons, but it's still like S tier easily. I'd recommend Proton Freezer. I'm not sure if you can get it for coupons anymore, but if you can, I'd 100% get the Proton Freezer, okay? Super good weapon. And the next weapon we're going to talk about is very close to Proton Freezer, and that's the Rocket Hands. The Rocket Hands is basically just, if I could describe it, it's just a better version of Proton Freezer, right? It has ever so slightly faster travel time. It has 2 more bullets, which is very important. It has a much more powerful rocket jump that's easier to use, and it also, I think, does slightly more damage or something like that, even though damage isn't really that important when you're above 150 anyway. But yeah, the Rocket Hands is the go-to travel time heavy at the moment among everyone, and the reason I say travel time heavy is, and trust me, I can't even believe the words coming out of my mouth right now, but there's actually a hit scan heavy weapon that's better, and that is the Howl of the Mummy. Mark my words, this is currently the number 1 best weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. I'll show you why when we get into the game, but you can also see from here. Now, as you can see, this is a heavy weapon that has 7 capacity, shoots relatively fast, has a very negligible fixed delay. I think it's like the lowest amount of fixed delay possible. It one-shots, it does the same damage as Cyber Lantern, and get this, it has weakening. Weakening on a one-shot weapon, if you guys didn't know, means that when the player respawns that you just killed, they still have that weakening effect for about 1.5 seconds or so. And I think the more like knowledgeable people watching this will already know why this is so fucking crazy. But it basically means that if you one-shot your opponent with this hit scan area damage one-shot kill weapon, by the way, across the map, and they respawn, if they go and try to take a shot at you, that's not gonna kill, okay? Because they have the weakening effect. And this is so, like, just goofy stupid. And this gun has not been nerfed since it was buffed, and it was well over, like, 4 months ago at this point. And it's just fucking stupid. It's just insane, man. I don't know how you can get this gun. I don't know if it's available for coupons, but it is easily, without a doubt, the best weapon in pixel gun right now. The only weapon I'd say is maybe better is like the T and Dang. But really, aside from that, like this gun is just stupid, bro. And like when we get into the game, I'm gonna show you why it's so stupid. But yeah, that does finish it for the armory section. Nothing is really changed for the primaries. I guess like you could maybe count Deadly Icicle coming back. You know, it's made a little bit of a resurgence in the meta, but you know, as per usual, the ultimatum is the best weapon in this category. It's gonna give you the best results. There's been no like real wear that's like improved either. The veteran boots are of course like by a long shot the best boots in the game. The veteran mask and pumpkin mask are really good, and the veteran armor is the best armor. What? Wait, what? I've had no armor mods on this whole time. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna have a talk with Fen after this video. I don't know what the fuck Fen's been smoking, but he's I don't know what he's doing recently. But yeah, anyways, let's get straight into the game, and I will show you guys the brand new ways to 3-cat in this game. Okay. Right. So we're in the game. I've made sure to turn my mic up nice and loud this time, so that I'm not like, you know, outshadowed by the guy in the background going 5, 4, 3. So you know, anyways, number one is the most dominant CatSpam method at the moment is Cyber Lantern CatSpam, which is basically where you 2-cat between your sniper weapon and your special weapon, which is Cyber Lantern, and occasionally if you have another player lined up, you switch to your backup, or more commonly you'd switch to your heavy weapon. Now, when you play this type of 3-cat, instead of starting where you traditionally start with your sniper, you need to start with either your heavy weapon or your special weapon. Most likely, special. And I'd recommend having these two on separate modules as well, you know, just in case of anti-mods. And, yeah, this method is broken, because you have multiple weapons in your loadout that can one-shot kill. And because it's just overall, it forces you to play Kravos tempo, which means that your aim is going to be better overall. If you don't know what that is, go and watch my, I think deathmatch tutorial that one was in. But yeah, it forces you to take an equal amount of time between each shot, which makes you play better. It's ridiculously broken because, you know, you're always going to one-shot your opponent no matter what. If you're in a full lobby, with like all players, you're going to one-shot everyone no matter what. And it's just overall the easiest because you don't even really have to worry about delay here. I'm not doing any type of melee switch. I'm not like really doing any like, you know, complex maneuvers or anything with my delay mechanics. I'm literally just switching because that's what fixed delay does. It's so stupid, but you know, it's in the meta now that you can just play like this and you're just chilling. And I mean, I guess, yeah, there's really nothing else to say, bro. Like, this isn't like a super complicated playstyle. It's broken, which is why you probably see every sweat in your lobby using this, every YouTuber using this. But yeah, let's get to the next playstyle, which is probably like, I guess, my favorite out of the three, at least that I like to play, and that is the laser bouncer non-delay backup CatSpam. So this is the loadout that's usually used. I will switch to rocket hands for the moment being because I don't really like using Hello to Mummy. But yeah, this is essentially CatSpam where you alternate between sniper, backup, special, backup, and then you just kind of go like that. And what you're basically doing is putting your backup weapon in between every switch, which kind of makes for this smooth, zero delay, zero fixed delay, high DPS CatSpam. And this is not as good as Cyber Lantern, but it's still like very good. If you're in like a packed pool lobby, as long as no one has your antis, you pop drum and you'll be absolutely crazy with this. Okay, this is gonna obliterate people, as I like to say. But yeah, really, the laser bouncer is a one-shot 260 weapon. So you're not going to be like one-shotting your opponent. So you will still have to play sniper first with this loadout. But if you put the drum on, you're going to be one-shotting way more people. And you're going to have consistent damage, okay? I'd recommend using Hypno Pursuer with this. Because you can't really use any other backup without it becoming a melee switch loadout. And you know that's not the point. The point is to make it like kind of an old school type, zero delay, fast switching You know, this is like a faster type of loadout to play. Like I said earlier, it's one of my favorites, and I'd say it's currently like the second best 3-cat loadout. At least, you know, in terms of like the players that play it and how good they are. I play it, for an example. If you see me in game, I'm probably going to be using either this loadout or the Cyber Lantern loadout. But yeah, this is, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Again, like there's nothing to really talk about in depth. You can use either Bloody Mercenary or Hypno Pursuer as your backup weapon. You need to use Laser Bouncer. Don't use Reflector. I've seen some absolute morons in the Pixel Gun server recommending Reflector for some fucking reason. But no, use Laser Bouncer. And I mean, yeah, pretty much aside from that, you can use whatever heavy weapon you want. I'd recommend Rocket Hands because this isn't, like I said, this loadout isn't really meant for fixed delay, so you can't. You could use Halida Mummy, but you know it's just kind of going against the loadout. You're just playing more Cyber Lantern at that point. But yeah, let's get to the third loadout that's commonly used, and this one you guys will probably recognize because this is what I like to call traditional CatSpam. Okay, and most people actually play this with Cyber Lantern, but in this video I'm going to be playing it with Sinoic or Corrupted Necklace of the Ice King. And Corrupted Necklace of the Ice King is a no delay weapon, which means it has the exact same properties as you know, as like Necklace of the Ice King or Cyber Cat Lantern, or you know, those weapons. And we are using a 2 delay backup weapon, in this case the Sharp Puck. You can also use Exterminator if you don't have Sharp Puck, but like Sharp Puck is so much better, it's like not even funny. I mean, yeah, so the main like draw of this loadout is Sharp Puck's absolutely insane 143 damage with its very fast 78 fire rate. This is basically like a revised, better version of Corrupted Exterminator, which is also an insane backup weapon, by the way. But I mean, yeah, this loadout, you will have to melee switch. It is a melee switch centric loadout, you could say. Specifically going from backup to, you know, sniper, or if you want to play left to right, you could just like literally Kraverse tempo like that. I personally don't. I just prefer going special in the middle. You know, sometimes if I don't have a lot of place to shoot, you know, I'll shoot my sniper, go to backup, back to sniper, and then we'll look for a shot here. If I can find one, fuck me, this lobby's dead. There's our shot. We get that. Switch to backup, special, you know, and bot 32's joined. Right, so, you know, it's just pretty fun loadout. Overall, it's the classic. It's one of my favorite loadouts, even though sadly because of the meta I don't really use it that much anymore. It's just not worth playing over something like Cyber Lantern or Laser Bouncer. But yeah, this is the main, I guess, loadout archetype. That this was really the only one I covered in the first CatSpam tutorial video, and that's why I wanted to make this one, since there's like 3 ways of CatSpamming now, you know, which is it's kind of cool. But yeah, you can still very much use this. I still see players using this. Is it going to be as efficient as the others? Probably not. But you can still very much get good results. You can easily get 100 bombs with this loadout. You know, it just so happens to be less like mind-numbingly broken as the other ones. So, you know, I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad seeing this loadout go because I've played with it for so long. But then again, it's pretty cool that weapons like Cyber Lantern and Hypno Pursuer exist that push the skill ceiling further. But yeah, so those are your main 3 loadout archetypes. And now I kind of just want to cover some things that I guess will help you with your gameplay. So yeah, let's get straight to that. Rightio, so we're in the polygon. And number one thing, I'm going to start with this loadout. We're going to go backwards. Number one thing is, if you haven't watched the last video, melee switching, right? So how to melee switch, if you somehow don't know, if you watch this video, I'll probably link my old one with 30k views in the comments, or if you want, you can just click on my channel, watch it. I think it's like 20 minutes. Pretty useful background knowledge, right? But basically, melee switching is the act of going from one delay weapon to another one without delay. As you can see, there's delay there. And in this loadout, you need to melee switch, or else you're not going to be able to CatSpam. As you can see, no, there's a delay there. But instead, you can just do, and boom, look, there's no delay there. So I can just go bang, 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 bang. Easy, right? And I guess it's not as easy as I've kind of put it. Like I said, you need to watch the other video where I went way more in depth, but since we're going to keep it short, what you're essentially doing is the second you shoot this, so the second I press my mouse button, I'm also pressing the bind for my special, which is my mouse button 4. So basically, I'm going to click shoot, press that at the same time. Okay, we did it a little too fast. And then as I've done that, I'm going to switch to sniper. So full speed, it should look like that. You can see there's no delay. You can do this between any weapons with delay, by the way. So if I wanted to, I could do it with my ultimatum as well, as you just saw. You can use this with any weapon that doesn't have delay. So as you can see, the reason I'm switching to my special is because it has no delay. It can't receive the delay that the sharp puck's giving, which means it cancels it out. And rocket hands also does the same thing. So if I wanted to, I could go from, I could do like that. As you can see, I'll switch to my rocket hands there. But yeah, that's the first thing that I kind of wanted to, I guess, revise. Like I said, if you want a more detailed explanation of that, go to my old video. But yeah, for the first loadout, that's really all you need to know. Aside from that, it's pretty straightforward. Alright, so now we're on Laser Bouncer, and this loadout's very straightforward, but one thing you need to know is the switching pattern, because it stays 100% consistent the whole time. This is not one of those loadouts where you can, like, hit the skittle, you know, go from that to maybe this, that, and then we'll, like, melee switch to this. That's not how it works. You need it consistently, and you need to start with Sniper as well, but this is what you're doing, right? So we're going to start with Sniper. It's the only one-shot weapon in this loadout, excluding Heavy. So we're going to shoot, go to backup, and then go to special, back to backup, and then back to Sniper, and then you just revise from there. So basically what you're doing is in between every shot that alternates through your special and your Sniper, you're putting a backup shot in there. And this makes for a super fast playing, very, I guess, easy to learn, provided you have good binds, just super smooth CatSpam style that happens to do great DPS. So, you know, if you're in a packed pool lobby, like 10 players, if you're trying to get those high numbers, if you're trying to get like 90, 100 kills, this loadout will do you great, okay? The only thing it kind of suffers from is anti-mods, because if you have anti-mods on your Sniper, you're gonna eat shit against everyone pretty much, you know, because it's the only one-shot weapon in this loadout. And the next loadout we're gonna cover happens to solve that issue very well, which is the reason it's #1 in the meta right now. And yeah, so I guess just to, you know, quickly recap what you want to be doing. If I can do the fucking reload, okay, I can't, let's just reload. What you want to be doing is starting with Sniper, alternating and putting the backup weapon in between every shot to make sure that, you know, you're never getting that delay. And this is very easy to learn. If you've run out of ammo in one of your guns, you can easily slip the ultimatum in there, or your heavy weapon. You know, it's just really learnable, easy to use. But yeah, let's get to our next loadout. So here we are on our next loadout. I just wanted to quickly mention, you can use this with, you can use it with both Rocket Hands, Proton Freezer, or Howl of the Mummy. In fact, Howl of the Mummy is probably better, but in this case, we're going to be using it with Cyber Lantern. What you want to be doing in this loadout is literally every single time you spawn, I don't know if I showed it effectively when I introduced the loadout, but every time you spawn, you want to be mashing and pulling out the Cyber Lantern. You know, unless you spawn like right next to someone, you can ultimatum them in the face or something like that. But the reason you're pulling out the Cyber Lantern is because you're getting rid of that fixed delay, so you have it ready to shoot for when you see a player, and then boom, you can get your first kill. So this is basically like a second sniper. This is what makes Cyber Lantern so insanely busted, especially in CatSpam, is because it acts as a second sniper weapon, which is fucking crazy. Because for the history of CatSpam, it has been centered around the sniper weapon being the only weapon that can one-shot. But, you know, this weapon just comes and shits on that rule. So, you know, yippee-ki-yay. So, you know, you can just start with this always. If on instinct you press sniper, sure, but you're going to have to deal with this delay. But the good part of this is when you start with it, if you miss your first shot, you still have that sniper. So you have a second one-shot that you can shoot at people. And bang, there's your kill, right? Nice and easy. But yeah, really what you want to be doing with this loadout, if possible, is just alternating between these two. I wouldn't really recommend going to your backup too often, unless you're in like a bot lobby, you know, which means you're going to have to use your backup for those easy kills to save ammo on these and to, you know, kill people faster because the backup's way faster. But also, wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing else to really say. I'd say just alternate between these two because you're going to be getting one-shots. And that's like the most important thing. And if you happen to like find like, I guess, a third target after you've used these two, you can go for the kill with Corrupted Exterminator. Or if you're using Howl of the Mummy with this loadout, you can use that as well. Or, you know, if you're on pool, Rocket Hands or Ultimatum are also great to use. But yeah, the one thing that makes this loadout like absolutely busted, in my opinion, is just the fact that you have two chances to one-shot, especially if you're playing against someone in particular. This is a really busted advantage, because usually if you miss that sniper shot, you're kind of fucked, right? Even if you hit them with backup weapons or special weapons, excluding the Cyber Lantern, they're not going to die. And that's kind of how it's always been. That's why this gun is so revolutionary to the meta, and why you see every single person using it. But yeah, with this loadout, the footnotes are, remember to always start with special, and remember to alternate between special and sniper. As you can see, this creates a Kratos tempo where I'm kind of just shooting at the exact same interval, which makes your aim better. You can watch my deathmatch tutorial to get more insight onto that. But yeah, that's basically it, I think. And yeah, that is going to put us at the end of the video. Sorry if this one was like a little more scrappy than the last one. It's probably because I just don't have as much to talk about. I feel like I covered most of, you know, the important stuff last time. But yeah, that is your updated meta guide, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys again for all the support on the last video, all the comments. Trust me, I've read every single one of them, all 100 something. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you know, like I said in that community post, I'm gonna try to upload a few more videos if I can. We do have a montage on the way as well, so I guess you guys can expect that probably in a couple months. But yeah, that's been the video. So thank you guys for watching and have a lovely day. Bye.